Your childhood is closer than you think. Shane Rhinewald from the Strong National Museum of Play is here with so much more. I'm so glad that I got chosen to do this interview today because I love to play.
There's no better way to start the day than with play, right?
Right? Okay, I think we need to talk a little bit about the elephant in the room because you're in the States, that's where the museum is, but traditionally, Toronto and the GTA have had a huge relationship with Buffalo.
Well, and that's what I keep going back to. So obviously we all know what the conversation, the language is, and it's completely unfortunate. But when I think of the history between Southern Ontario and upstate New York and the long, deep connections, that's what I kind of keep going back to is I think going into the future, we're gonna get past this. We're gonna look back. I think hopefully this is a blip in time, and things will change. And really, at the end of the day, I'm here to say Rochester, upstate New York, that whole Buffalo-Rochester corridor, it's as welcoming as ever, and the sentiment has not changed.
I love that. I think that's really great. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the museum. Tell us about it for those of us that have never been.
So the Strong National Museum of Play, it's almost two museums in one. So it's a play wonderland. So we're looking at play, the history of play. So we collect the artifacts of play. Toys, games, electronic games, puzzles. But we're also, you can't be a museum about play without giving people tons of opportunity to play.
So it's super interactive?
Super interactive. So if you think of sort of a traditional family museum or children's museum, has a lot of those elements in there as well. And really things for all ages. So for the younger kids, the toddlers, you want to run around in the Sesame Street exhibit. But for, a lot of fun, right? The nostalgia is strong.
That is totally my childhood right there.
But for the bigger kids, the adults, the grandparents, we have an entire exhibit dedicated to the history of the arcade. So play the games that you grew up on in the late 70s, the 80s, the early 90s. That's where you find the kids that are like, Mom, Dad,
can we
Grandma,
go?
come on, let's go. And they're in there dropping coins, just going, I'm going to beat my high score from 30 years ago.
Oh, that is amazing. I love that it's not just about kids because it's so important. We think about how important play is for children, but we don't think about it as adults. We don't play as much as we should.
Well, that's part of our mission. So we are all about the study of play and why is play important. And certainly we do that through the museum setting. But we want to inform people that play, it's great for kids and their education and their child development, but we all need it as well. It's how we relax, how we distress. And as we get older, it's good for our brain. I mean, think of doing crossword puzzles and word searches.
I love doing like a big puzzle every year at Christmas time, like 1,000 piece, like one that's a real challenge. That's always a good time. Okay, show me what you have here.
So one of the programs that we have at the museum is the Toy Hall of Fame. So every November, we induct iconic toys. And it really gets that conversation going about what is a great toy, what has had cultural impact over time. So if you think, first class Hall of Famer, the Legos of the world. So these three over here, Phase 10, the card game, My Little Pony, and Transformers, all great toys from the 80s. Those were the most recent inductees this past November.
These ones all speak to me. Like I know, I'm like, Transformers more than meets the eye.
When you can sing the jingle, you know it had impact.
My Little Pony, My Little... I don't know what Phase 2 is all about, though. Is it kind of like Uno?
It is. So it's actually the second best-selling card game behind Uno.
Really?
But I have found that it's really 50-50. I'll talk to some people and they'll say, oh my gosh, I played that as much as Uno. It was as big in our household.
It's kind of like Rummy.
Yeah, and then other folks that have a little bit more of your reaction of like, okay, I haven't quite heard of that. It was not in my household.
Okay, anybody got a question that they need answered? Anybody? Anybody? Yes? No?
The giant magic 8-ball, it will.
Will it tell me anything?
It's a little blurry. It's gotten shaken by a lot of kids over the years.
Oh, yeah. I think it said no, and I didn't even ask it anything. Simone, you got a question for the 8-ball?
Is it going to rain this weekend?
Is it going to rain this weekend?
Okay, I'm obsolete.
Wait, what does that say?
Cannot predict now, so it's not being very helpful at the moment.
Well, it's typical weather.
Yeah, thanks Magic 8-ball. It all
typical weather. What's with the duckies?
So Rubber Duckies went in a few years ago, and we think super broadly about what is a toy at the Toy Hall of Fame. So the Rubber Ducky, very simple, fun bath toy.
It is a bath toy.
Yeah.
Like I've had many of those with my children, and then of course my favorite
was iconic Slinky.
So I was like going like this, like crazy, and Laura, our director, was like, "Stop doing that." It's really loud on my microphone, but
I didn't
it's
bring
so
the metal
fun.
ones.
It's so fun. This is like a classic.
That is, I mean, it's been around for decades and decades.
Yeah.
Now you can get it in mini form, giant form. The classic metal ones that a lot of people may remember
Yeah.
are still around.
Brian.
So, yeah.
He came over and told us. That's how I know. Okay, where can people get more information?
So museumofplay.org, tons of information about the museum. You can see the wide scope of the things, the offerings, dozens and dozens of exhibits.
Amazing.
And really more than a city block of play.
All right, well, thanks for joining us, Shane.
Yeah,
It's
thanks
been a
for
ton
having
of
me on.
fun. All right, now I got to keep doing this because now I can do it while it's quiet.